The day had started like any other aboard the Aurelian Vanguard, a human expedition fleet sent to negotiate peace with the alien empire of Erythra. I had trained for this moment my entire life. Military precision, diplomacy, survival skills. But nothing prepared me for her, the alien princess. Lyriel, heir to the Erythran throne, was more magnificent than the Holovids had ever shown. Her armor shimmered like liquid starlight, every movement radiating authority and elegance. Her eyes, large and violet, scanned the ranks of soldiers assembled in the grand courtyard. They said her presence could unnerve even the most battle-hardened veterans, and they weren't wrong. Beginning, the arrival. I stood in formation, uniform crisp, helmet under my arm. My squadmates whispered nervously, aware that today's ceremony was not just a demonstration of military might but a test of loyalty, courage, and character. The Erythrans had a custom that bewildered many. The princess chose her human protector, a single soldier from among all the troops. First, I thought it was ceremonial, symbolic, a gesture to cement relations. But the tension in the courtyard told another story. Every soldier present understood that the princess's choice carried weight. Her protector would accompany her on missions, live within her palace, and be entrusted with matters no other human could touch. I was not supposed to hope, yet a flicker of anticipation ran through me as she began to move. Middle, the walk of judgment. Lyriel's steps were measured, almost floating across the plaza. The crowd of soldiers held their breath. I felt my pulse quicken, not from fear of her presence, but from the realization that she was evaluating every one of us. Her gaze swept across my squadmates, all seasoned, decorated, capable. I tried not to think about how insignificant I might appear to her. My hands clenched at my sides, uniform stiff as stone. I had no accolades, no special commendations. I was competent, yes, but just another human among many. And then, unexpectedly, her eyes landed on me. Time seemed to slow. Her violet gaze penetrated deeper than armor, medals, or rank could ever convey. It was as if she could see my thoughts, my intentions, my hesitation. I swallowed hard, unsure whether to bow or stand still, my mind racing to project confidence I didn't fully feel. Her steps continued, deliberate, until she stopped a mere few meters away. The courtyard seemed impossibly quiet. Even the distant hum of the starship's engines faded. She raised her hand and I understood. The choice was coming. The declaration. "This is the human I want," she said, her voice resonant and commanding, yet layered with warmth. "I will marry him." The shock rippled through the ranks. Soldiers shifted, eyes wide in disbelief. Murmurs swept the courtyard like a sudden windstorm. Some laughed nervously. Others stared in awe. Froze. My training screamed that I should salute, speak, react. But my mouth wouldn't move. I was paralyzed by the gravity of the declaration. The princess had chosen me, an ordinary human, among the finest soldiers in the fleet. Lyriel's gaze softened as she stepped closer. "Do not be afraid," she said. "You are not unworthy. You have the courage and integrity I seek. That is enough." I felt my knees weaken slightly, relief and disbelief coursing through me. My mind tried to grasp the reality. Chosen by a princess of an alien civilization, entrusted with a role that transcended duty, that defied logic. The challenge. But choice was not the same as acceptance. The princess had her customs. Before a protector could officially assume his role, he had to prove himself through the trial of Valor, a series of tests designed to assess loyalty, courage, and strategic thinking. The trial was brutal. It began with simulations of combat scenarios against Erythran war machines, then shifted to puzzle-like challenges requiring logic, perception, and intuition. I had to navigate alien technology one barely understood, anticipate strategies I had never encountered, and act decisively under pressure. Through each challenge, I felt Lyriel's presence, not as a commander watching, but as a guide, a silent anchor. Her eyes were everywhere, not judging but observing, understanding, connecting. For the first time in my life, I realized her choice was not arbitrary. She could see potential where I had only seen mediocrity in myself. When I emerged from the final trial, exhausted, sweat and grime coating my uniform, Lyriel approached. She offered no words of consolation, no applause. Instead, she simply extended her hand. "You have passed. You are ready." The transformation. The ceremony that followed was less about pageantry and more about transformation. I was officially bonded to the princess, entrusted with her safety, her secrets, and her confidence. Life with Lyriel was unlike anything I had known. I trained beside her daily, learning not just Erythran combat techniques, but their philosophy, culture, and history. Her world was vast, filled with beauty and peril, and she trusted me to navigate it alongside her. I grew in ways I could never have imagined. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, the trials of being her protector reshaped me. I was no longer merely a human soldier. I had become a bridge between our species, a living symbol of unity and trust. The test of loyalty. Months later, the ultimate test came. A rival faction from a neighboring star system launched an attack on the Erythran capital. Chaos erupted, alarms blaring across the city. Lyriel and I were caught in the center of the assault. She moved with unmatched grace, issuing commands, coordinating defenses, and inspiring the citizens around her. And I, her chosen protector, acted instinctively. I blocked attacks, deflected energy blasts, and shielded her from danger. Every skill, every lesson, every ounce of courage I had cultivated was put to the ultimate test. When the dust settled, the city was safe. The rival faction had retreated. Lyriel's eyes found mine amid the ruins, and for the first time, a smile touched her lips. "You are more than I imagined," she said softly. The final reward. The following ceremony wasn't about selection, trial, or test. It was about acknowledgement, the recognition that bonds formed in trust, bravery, and mutual respect could transcend even the boundaries of species. Lyriel approached the assembled crowd, her hand in mine. "This human is not only my protector," she declared, "but my equal in courage, wisdom, and heart. From this day forward, he stands with me as a partner, a confidant, and a guide. He has earned his place beside me, and I am proud to call him mine." Applause echoed through the plaza, alien and human alike celebrating the union of trust and valor. Soldiers who had once doubted me bowed respectfully. Citizens cheered. And I finally understood the magnitude of what had happened. Ending a new path. The days that followed were filled with preparation, diplomacy, and continued training. I learned to navigate Lyriel's world, the politics, the customs, the unspoken expectations. And in return, she learned about humanity, our resilience, our adaptability, our capacity for hope. Together we faced challenges, negotiated peace treaties, and defended our people. I was no longer just a soldier. I was a symbol of the human spirit, chosen not for skill alone, but for heart, integrity, and courage.